Welcome, traveler, to Bedtime Travel Stories, your gateway to tranquil journeys across the globe. Unwind with our soothing tales, and let your imagination roam free as you drift into peaceful sleep. As twilight descends upon the rugged expanse of the Grand Canyon, a profound silence settles over its vast, colorful vistas. Here in this monumental chasm carved by time, water, and wind, stories of the Earth's geological ballet unfold in the striated cliffs and deep gorges. The Grand Canyon, a majestic and timeless landscape, invites us on a journey not just through a physical space, but through the epochs of natural history that have shaped it into one of the world's most awe-inspiring natural wonders. Located in the heart of Arizona, the Grand Canyon in the United States is a marvel of the natural world, stretching 277 miles long and over a mile deep, its sheer scale defying the imagination. It is a place where the earth opens up to reveal its innermost secrets, displaying layers of rock that recount tales of the past 2 billion years. As the Colorado River winds its way through this titanic gorge, it whispers stories of ancient landscapes and the relentless power of nature's creativity. Tonight, as the stars begin to pepper the vast desert sky, let us traverse the rim of the Grand Canyon, peering into its depths and along its expansive horizon. We will explore the rich tapestry of human history intertwined with this natural spectacle, from the indigenous tribes who have revered it as sacred land to the adventurers and conservationists who have been captivated by its wild beauty. Each step along the canyon's edge is a step through time, where the winds carry echoes of the past and the vistas tell stories of the Earth's formative forces. Let the Grand Canyon's grandeur envelop you as the shadows lengthen and the colors deepen, transforming the landscape into an ever-changing canvas. As you settle into the night, allow the grand vistas of the Grand Canyon to fill your mind's eye. Let the peace and magnitude of this natural wonder guide you into a serene repose, where the only boundaries are the edges of your imagination, and the only urgency is the slow dance of the stars above this ancient gorge. As dawn breaks over the Grand Canyon, the first rays of sunlight illuminate the multicolored layers of rock that form the canyon walls. Each layer tells a story of Earth's ancient past, a narrative written in stone that chronicles the slow yet relentless force of geological processes. Let us explore how the Grand Canyon came to be, from the uplift of tectonic plates to the erosive power of water and wind. The story of the Grand Canyon begins nearly 2 billion years ago with the Vishnu schist, the oldest rocks at the canyon's base. These dark metamorphic rocks were once part of the North American continent's foundation, deeply buried and transformed under immense heat and pressure. As you gaze into the depths of the canyon, imagine the Earth's crust buckling and folding, giving rise to ancient mountains long since eroded away. Above the Vishnu schist lies the Grand Canyon supergroup. These rocks, visible as sloped and tilted layers, tell tales of more tranquil, time-shallow marine environments and the advance and retreat of ancient shorelines. These layers, not uniformly present across the canyon, were deposited over hundreds of millions of years, each stratum capturing a snapshot of the environment as it was then. The story progresses with the horizontal layers of the Paleozoic era, easily discernible by their distinct colors and textures. Starting about 525 million years ago, these layers were laid down by seas that periodically inundated the region. From the Tepete sandstone that forms the canyon's rugged cliffs to the Kaibab limestone that caps the rim, each layer adds to the narrative of fluctuating sea levels and marine life that once thrived here. The drama of the canyon's formation is further shaped by the forces of uplift and erosion. Approximately 5 to 6 million years ago, the region began to rise due to tectonic activity, elevating the Colorado Plateau and setting the stage for erosion. The Colorado River, once meandering across a flat landscape, found its course diverted and steepened by this uplift, its waters cutting ever deeper into the rock layers. As you walk along the rim, observing the vastness of the canyon, consider the power of the Colorado River, which continues to sculpt the canyon to this day. Its relentless flow, combined with the abrasive action of sediment it carries, carves the canyon deeper and wider, revealing the Earth's history with each layer it exposes. Rain and wind also play their roles in shaping the canyon. The erosive forces of water during thunderstorms further sculpt and smooth the canyon walls, creating side canyons and sharp spires. Meanwhile, the wind, a less visible but equally persistent force, whittles away at the rock, helping to shape the canyon's iconic and rugged landscape. In this grand amphitheater of geology, every viewpoint offers a different story, a different angle on the past. The Grand Canyon, as we see it today, is a snapshot in the ongoing process of geological evolution, a dynamic landscape that continues to change with each passing day. As night falls and the canyon shadows deepen, let the timeless beauty of these ancient stones lull you into a deep sense of wonder. Reflect on the vast spans of time that have shaped this landscape and the small yet significant place we hold within it. Here under the starlit sky, the rocks of the Grand Canyon stand as silent sentinels of time, guardians of Earth's profound history. As the golden hues of dawn wash over the Grand Canyon, they illuminate not just the natural beauty of this wonder, but also the rich tapestry of human history woven into its vast expanse. Let us explore the deep connection between the indigenous peoples and the canyon, revealing how this grand chasm has served as a sacred site, a home, and a source of inspiration for millennia. Long before it became a national park, the Grand Canyon was a spiritual and cultural hub for Native American tribes. The area is considered sacred by many, a place imbued with spiritual significance and populated by the spirits of ancestors. The earliest evidence of human presence in the Grand Canyon dates back nearly 12,000 years, with the Paleo-Indians who roamed its rims and valleys, hunting and gathering amidst its rugged beauty. As centuries passed, more permanent settlements emerged. The ancestral Puebloans, known for their skilled masonry and cliff dwellings, inhabited the canyon around 1200 BCE. Their presence is still palpable in the surviving architecture and artifacts, from stone tools to pottery shards, each piece a testament to their adaptation and resilience in this challenging environment. The canyon walls echo with the legends of the Hopi, who consider the Grand Canyon as the place where their people emerged into the world. Their oral histories and traditions speak of the canyon's caves and crevices, each a storied place where messages from the deities were revealed. The Hopi and other tribes such as the Navajo, Havasupai and Hualapai share a deep connection with this land, viewing it as a living entity filled with the power and spirit of the Earth Mother. Each tribe has left its mark on the canyon, not through conquests or monuments, but through a gentle stewardship and a profound respect for the land. petroglyphs etched into rock faces, ancient footpaths winding through the gorges, and ceremonial sites tucked away in quiet corners of the canyon. All these elements paint a picture of a deeply spiritual and interconnected way of life. Today, the descendants of these tribes continue to honor their heritage and the land of their ancestors. They strive to protect the canyon from overuse and environmental degradation while sharing their knowledge and history through art, storytelling, and advocacy. Their voices are crucial in the ongoing dialogue about conservation and respectful tourism in the Grand Canyon. As you explore the Grand Canyon, imagine the ancient peoples who once walked these paths, whose lives and stories are embedded in the very rocks and rivers of the canyon. Consider the sacredness of this place, where the earth opens up to reveal not just geological layers, but layers of human spirit and endurance. As the sun sets over the canyon, casting long shadows and painting the walls in vibrant shades of red and orange, let the stories of the first peoples who cherished this land fill your heart. Feel the presence of thousands of years of human history, the echoes of ancient ceremonies, and the whispers of stories passed down through generations. Tonight, as you drift towards sleep, envision the starlit sky above the Grand Canyon, as it would have appeared to those ancient inhabitants. Let the continuity of human connection to this majestic place bring a sense of peace and perspective. Dream of walking softly on sacred ground, surrounded by the spirits of those who have revered this wonder of nature for centuries. As the sun rises over the Grand Canyon, its rays illuminate a world teeming with life, from the smallest desert wildflower to the majestic California condor soaring above. A deeper look into the vibrant ecosystems of the Grand Canyon will reveal how an array of creatures and plants thrive in this dramatic and challenging environment. The Grand Canyon's ecology is as varied as its geology, ranging from riverine ecosystems along the Colorado River to desert environments on the rim and everything in between. Each ecological niche supports a unique set of life forms adapted to the specific conditions of their habitats. The diversity is startling, a testament to the resilience and adaptability of nature. Starting at the canyon floor, the riparian zones along the Colorado River are lush with life. Here, the willows and cottonwoods offer shade and sustenance to a wide variety of wildlife. Beavers construct their dams, otters play in the waters, and numerous species of birds find refuge in the dense foliage. This verdant belt provides a critical habitat for species that depend on the water's nourishment in the arid landscape. Ascending the canyon walls, the environment shifts dramatically to arid scrublands and desert plains. Hardy species such as sagebrush, juniper, and pinyon pine dominate the landscape, their roots delving deep into rocky soil for moisture. The plant life here has evolved to conserve water, featuring waxy leaves, deep taproots, and other adaptations that enable survival in the dry climate. The animal life in the Grand Canyon is equally adapted to the rigors of desert life. The bighorn sheep, with its sure-footedness, scales the steep cliffs, while the elusive mountain lion roams the higher reaches in search of prey. Rodents such as the kangaroo rat thrive, having evolved to extract sufficient water from their food to avoid drinking altogether. Among the canyon's most celebrated residents are the birds, particularly the raptors. The Grand Canyon is a haven for birdwatchers, as it hosts species ranging from the tiny hummingbird to the grand California condor. These birds, particularly the condors, have been the subject of extensive conservation efforts to preserve their numbers and ensure their survival against the backdrop of human encroachment. At night, the Grand Canyon transforms yet again as nocturnal creatures emerge. Bats flit through the darkening sky, hunting insects while owls hoot softly from their perches. Nighttime predators such as coyotes and bobcats prowl for food, their eyes glowing in the moonlight. The desert night is alive with sounds and movements, a hidden world of activity that contrasts sharply with the stillness of daylight. Each creature, plant, and microorganism in the Grand Canyon plays a role in a complex ecological web. The interactions between species, their adaptations, and their survival strategies paint a picture of a dynamic and interconnected ecosystem, resilient in the face of harsh environmental conditions and a changing climate. As the stars shine brightly over the Grand Canyon, reflect on the intricate tapestry of life that thrives in this iconic landscape. The resilience and beauty of the canyon's ecosystems are a powerful reminder of nature's adaptability and the delicate balance that sustains life in even the most extreme conditions. Tonight, let the tranquil but teeming life of the Grand Canyon accompany your dreams. Imagine the gentle rustle of cottonwood leaves, the distant call of a condor, and the silent dance of the stars above. Let these natural symphonies guide you into a peaceful sleep, filled with dreams of a world that perfectly harmonizes survival and splendor. In the soft light of dawn, as the Grand Canyon awakens to another day, its silent expanses seem untouched by time. Yet, this landscape has a storied history of exploration and conservation, marked by the footsteps of those who sought to uncover its secrets and those who fought to preserve its grandeur. We shall chronicle the endeavors of these pathfinders and protectors, whose efforts have helped ensure that the Grand Canyon remains a source of wonder and inspiration for generations. The exploration of the Grand Canyon is a tale of curiosity and courage. It began with Native American tribes who knew the canyon long before it was a landmark on Western maps. Their routes through the labyrinthine corridors and their understanding of the canyon's ecology were the first chapters in its exploration history. Yet it was Major John Wesley Powell's expedition in 1869 that marked the beginning of the Grand Canyon's modern era of exploration. Powell, a one-armed Civil War veteran and a passionate geologist, led the first official expedition down the rapids of the Colorado River, mapping the region and naming many of its features. Powell's vivid descriptions and the photographs taken by later explorers like Emery Kolb captivated the public's imagination. These early exploratory missions laid the groundwork for the Grand Canyon to be recognized not only as a geological wonder, but also as a pivotal symbol of the American wilderness. These tales of daring journeys and the visual splendor they revealed drew the attention of conservationists who recognized the need to protect such a unique landscape. The conservation story of the Grand Canyon is a testament to the foresight of those who recognized its vulnerability. The establishment of the Grand Canyon as a national monument in 1908 by President Theodore Roosevelt was a crucial step in its conservation. Roosevelt, a staunch advocate for the conservation of America's natural landscapes, famously declared, "Let this great wonder of nature remain as it now is. Do nothing to mar its grandeur, sublimity, and loveliness. You cannot improve on it." The designation of the Grand Canyon as a national park in 1919, under the newly formed National Park Service, marked a new chapter in its protection. This status provided a framework for managing visitor impact and preserving the natural resources of the canyon. Over the decades, park management strategies have evolved to include more sophisticated scientific research and monitoring of environmental and visitor impacts, reflecting a growing understanding of ecological balance and sustainable tourism. Today, the Grand Canyon is not only a national park, but also a UNESCO World Heritage Site, recognized globally for its superlative natural phenomena and its profound importance to natural history. The ongoing efforts of park rangers, scientists, and a multitude of conservation organizations are focused on maintaining the delicate balance between visitor enjoyment and landscape preservation. As the day fades and twilight cloaks the Grand Canyon, consider the legacy of those who walked this land with reverence and purpose. Their stories are woven into the very fabric of the canyon, reminders of our responsibility to protect and cherish such irreplaceable treasures. Tonight, as you drift towards sleep, let the spirit of exploration and the ethos of conservation that have shaped the Grand Canyon inspire your dreams. Envision the quiet dedication of the stewards who preserve its depths and heights, and the awe of the explorers who first charted its vastness. Dream of standing at the rim, looking out over one of nature's most magnificent creations, feeling the weight of history and the promise of preservation beneath your feet. The Grand Canyon, under the vast expanse of the Arizona sky, continues to be an emblem of natural beauty and geological wonder. However, like many of the world's great natural sites, it faces modern challenges that threaten its integrity and future. Let us explore these contemporary challenges and the sophisticated conservation efforts designed to mitigate them, ensuring that the Grand Canyon remains a pristine and inspiring natural sanctuary. One of the foremost challenges is the impact of tourism. Welcoming millions of visitors each year, the Grand Canyon struggles with the dual task of providing access while protecting its fragile ecosystems. Foot traffic, vehicle emissions, and general human activity pose risks to the natural habitat, potentially leading to erosion, pollution, and disturbance to wildlife. The National Park Service employs a variety of strategies to manage these impacts, including shuttle systems to reduce vehicle use, clearly defined trails to protect delicate areas, and educational programs to raise visitor awareness about conservation. Water management is another critical issue. The Colorado River, the lifeline of the Grand Canyon, has seen significant changes in water flow and quality due to upstream water diversion for urban and agricultural use. This alteration affects not only the aquatic ecosystems within the canyon, but also the riparian environments that depend on the river. Efforts to restore natural water flows and improve water quality are ongoing, involving complex negotiations and collaborations with multiple stakeholders. Air quality is a concern as well. Despite its remote location, the Grand Canyon can experience poor air quality due to pollution from nearby urban areas and industrial operations. This not only affects the health of visitors and residents, but also mars the visual majesty of the canyon. Measures to monitor air quality and initiatives aimed at reducing emissions are critical components of the park's management plan. The introduction of non-native species has disrupted the native biodiversity of the Grand Canyon. Plants and animals brought intentionally or accidentally by human activity compete with native species, often leading to unforeseen consequences. Managing these invasive species involves continuous monitoring and removal efforts, as well as public education on the importance of maintaining natural ecosystems. Whether one considers the changing climate purely a part of the Earth's natural cycles or accelerated by man, all can agree that it poses perhaps the most far-reaching challenge. Its impacts are profound, affecting water availability, fire frequency, plant life cycles, and animal behaviors. The park's management strategies are now incorporating climate resilience measures to adapt to these changes, ensuring that the canyon's ecosystems remain robust and viable. Preserving cultural heritage amidst these environmental challenges is also vital. The Grand Canyon is not only a natural wonder, but also a cultural landscape, rich with archaeological sites and sacred spaces. Balancing physical preservation with respectful engagement with indigenous communities who hold the canyon sacred is essential. Collaborative management with these communities has led to innovative approaches to cultural preservation and interpretation. Research and scientific study play pivotal roles in understanding and mitigating the challenges faced by the Grand Canyon. Ongoing scientific projects study everything from geology and hydrology to biology and human impact. This research informs practical conservation strategies and helps predict future challenges that may arise from ongoing environmental changes. Public engagement and education are crucial for fostering a conservation ethic among visitors and the general public. Programs that educate on the natural history of the canyon, its ecological importance, and ways individuals can contribute to its preservation are vital for building a broad base of support for conservation initiatives. As the sun sets, casting long shadows over the Grand Canyon's vast contours, the conservation efforts that protect this magnificent landscape ensure that its beauty and grandeur endure. These efforts are a testament to human ingenuity and commitment to preserving the natural world. Tonight, as you settle into the quiet of the evening, let the thought of the Grand Canyon, safeguarded through concerted human effort and respect for nature, inspire a sense of hope and responsibility. Dream of walking the trails of the canyon, where each step is a testament to the balance between enjoying and preserving our natural treasures. As the first light of morning paints the Grand Canyon in hues of orange and pink, it's not just the natural beauty that deserves our admiration, but also the efforts of those who have dedicated themselves to preserving this marvel. Let us celebrate the conservation success stories and the people behind these initiatives, whose commitment ensures the Grand Canyon remains a testament to both nature's grandeur and humanity's capacity for stewardship. One notable success story is the reintroduction of the California condor, one of America's most critically endangered birds. By the late 20th century, habitat loss and pollution had drastically reduced their numbers. However, through a collaborative effort involving wildlife biologists, local tribes, and conservation groups, a captive breeding program was initiated. Today, thanks to these efforts, the condor soars again over the canyon, a powerful symbol of conservation success. Water conservation has been another significant area of achievement. The Grand Canyon's ecosystem is heavily reliant on the Colorado River, which faces substantial pressures from overuse and climate change. Innovative water management strategies, such as the use of reclaimed water for park facilities and habitat restoration projects, have helped maintain the river's health and the life it supports. These efforts not only ensure the sustainability of the water supply, but also preserve the river's natural flow, crucial for the canyon's ecological balance. The fight against invasive species has seen remarkable victories as well. Teams of botanists and volunteers have worked tirelessly to remove plants like the tamarisk, an invasive species that chokes native vegetation and alters riverbank habitats. Through persistent removal efforts and the reintroduction of native plants, these areas have seen a resurgence of indigenous flora, restoring a balanced ecosystem that supports a wider range of wildlife. Preserving the night sky over the Grand Canyon has also been a unique area of conservation. Light pollution is a growing concern that affects both the natural environment and the experience of countless visitors who come to marvel at the night sky. The park's designation as a dark sky park reflects the successful implementation of lighting guidelines that minimize light pollution, allowing for breathtaking views of the stars and contributing to nocturnal wildlife conservation. Additionally, collaborations with Native American tribes have led to significant cultural preservation successes. These partnerships have not only facilitated the protection of sacred sites, but also ensured that the tribe's knowledge and traditions continue to inform conservation practices. The integration of traditional ecological knowledge has enriched the management approaches, making them more holistic and culturally respectful. Education programs initiated by the park have successfully increased public awareness about the importance of preserving this unique environment. Through guided tours, educational materials, and youth engagement, these programs cultivate a conservation ethic among visitors, inspiring the next generation of guardians for the Grand Canyon. As the day unfolds and the sun climbs higher in the sky, casting deep shadows into the crevices of the canyon, these stories of conservation success stand as a testament to human perseverance and passion. Each project, each individual effort contributes to a larger story of hope and dedication that spans beyond the confines of the canyon. Tonight, as the canyon quiets and the stars begin to twinkle in the vast desert sky, let these stories of resilience and renewal inspire you. Dream of the Grand Canyon, not just as a monument of nature's artistry, but as a living legacy of conservation success. Imagine walking its trails, feeling a deep connection to both the past and the future, as part of a continuing story of respect and responsibility towards our natural world. As the afternoon sun casts its golden light over the Grand Canyon, illuminating the layered rock formations, it also highlights the challenges at the crossroads of development, tourism, and preservation. Let us explore the intricate balance required to manage the competing demands of accessibility and conservation, ensuring that this natural wonder remains unspoiled for future generations while still accessible to the public. The Grand Canyon, one of the world's most visited natural sites, faces the ongoing challenge of managing high visitor numbers, which can strain infrastructure and threaten the natural environment. The construction of visitor centers, pathways, and viewing platforms must be carefully planned to minimize environmental impact while enhancing visitor experience. Strategies such as building with natural materials, designing structures that blend into the landscape, and restricting areas to reduce human footprint are key to sustainable tourism development. Traffic management is a significant concern, as the influx of cars and buses contributes to congestion and pollution. The implementation of a robust public transportation system within the park, including shuttle buses and possibly light rail systems, aims to reduce vehicle emissions and control the flow of visitors. Such systems also provide an educational platform, offering guided tours and information about the canyon's ecology and geology, enriching the visitor experience while promoting conservation. Water usage is another critical issue, given the arid environment and the pressures from both tourism and local communities. Advanced water conservation measures, such as water recycling systems in hotels and restaurants, low-flow plumbing fixtures in public facilities, and xeriscaping, the use of native drought-resistant plants in landscaping, help mitigate the impact of high water consumption. The relationship between the park and local communities is vital to the sustainable management of the Grand Canyon. Many nearby residents rely on tourism for their livelihoods, and their economic needs must be balanced with environmental goals. Programs that involve local communities in tourism, such as employing residents as tour guides, park staff, or conservation workers, help align community welfare with environmental preservation. The impact of tourism on local wildlife is a concern that requires ongoing attention. Efforts to educate visitors about wildlife safety, such as not feeding animals, and maintaining a safe distance are crucial. Additionally, wildlife corridors are maintained, and habitat restoration projects are undertaken to ensure that the park's animal populations do not suffer from the effects of human interference. The use of technology in monitoring environmental health is a forward-thinking approach taken by park management. Sensors that track air and water quality, drones that monitor wildlife populations, and GIS systems that track erosion and vegetation changes are all part of a high-tech toolkit that helps manage the park more effectively and responsively. Educational outreach is fundamental to fostering a culture of preservation among visitors. Interactive exhibits, mobile apps providing real-time environmental data, and educational programs in schools aim to raise awareness of the challenges faced by the Grand Canyon and the role everyone can play in its preservation. As the sun sets, painting the canyon walls in hues of red and purple, the efforts to balance human activity with nature's needs at the Grand Canyon serve as a powerful example of environmental stewardship. It's a delicate balance, requiring cooperation, innovation, and a deep respect for the natural world. Tonight, as the quiet peace of dusk settles over the Grand Canyon, reflect on the interconnectedness of all who visit and those who strive to protect it. Let the thought of this magnificent landscape, cared for by so many hands, inspire a sense of stewardship and hope in your own heart. Dream of standing at the rim, looking out over the expanse, feeling part of a greater effort to preserve such irreplaceable beauty for generations to come. As twilight softly envelops the Grand Canyon, casting long shadows and painting the rocks with a palette of dusky hues, the enduring voices of the First Nations echo through the ages. As we delve into the deep spiritual and cultural connections that Native American tribes have with the Grand Canyon, reflect upon their profound relationship with this sacred landscape. The Grand Canyon is more than just a natural wonder. It is a cultural landscape imbued with the spiritual, historical, and cultural significance of the Native American tribes who have lived in and around its vast expanse for thousands of years. These tribes, including the Havasupai, Hualapai, Navajo, Hopi, and Zuni, see the canyon as a living entity, rich with stories and spirits of their ancestors. For these communities, the Grand Canyon is a place of creation and origin. Many tribal creation stories are set in the depths of the canyon, where the earth opened up to deliver life. The Hopi, for example, regard the canyon as their homeland, where their people emerged into the current world. These stories are not mere myths. They are vital narratives that convey morals, traditions, and the cosmological views of the universe. The canyon's physical features are landmarks in these narratives, each with its own story that contributes to the tribe's oral histories. Sacred sites dot the landscape, each resonating with spiritual significance and often associated with rituals and ceremonies passed down through generations. These places are treated with respect and reverence, visited in the spirit of pilgrimage and contemplation. The relationship between the tribes and the canyon extends to stewardship of the land. Traditional practices, honed over centuries, showcase a sustainable way of living with nature. This includes the judicious use of natural resources, such as plants and water, which are central to their material, medicinal, and spiritual needs. The ecological knowledge possessed by these tribes is invaluable, offering insights into sustainable conservation practices that benefit the entire ecosystem. Today, the involvement of First Nations in the management of Grand Canyon National Park is a testament to their enduring connection to this land. Collaborative management agreements and advisory roles enable tribes to contribute their traditional ecological knowledge to modern conservation efforts, ensuring that management practices are culturally sensitive and ecologically sound. Cultural preservation efforts also play a crucial role in maintaining the heritage of the First Nations associated with the Grand Canyon. Initiatives to document and revitalize native languages, crafts, and ceremonies are crucial in keeping these traditions alive. The park authorities collaborate with tribal leaders to ensure that educational programs for visitors incorporate authentic tribal perspectives and histories. As night descends and the stars begin to dot the vast sky above the Grand Canyon, the voices of its First Nations peoples remind us of the deep, intrinsic connections between culture and landscape. This relationship, woven through millennia, underscores the importance of understanding and respecting the cultural narratives that accompany the natural beauty of the canyon. Tonight, as you drift towards sleep, let the ancient stories and the spirits of the Grand Canyon's First Nations guide you into a world of dreams where history, culture, and nature intertwine. Dream of the echoes of ancient songs over the canyon walls, the wisdom of the ages whispered by the rustling leaves, and the stars overhead watching silently as they have for eons. As dawn breaks, casting a soft glow over the Grand Canyon, it highlights a landscape where ancient wisdom and modern conservation practices converge. Consider how traditional ecological knowledge, passed down through generations of First Nations peoples, is being integrated into contemporary efforts to sustain and celebrate the Grand Canyon's natural and cultural heritage. Traditional ecological knowledge encompasses an understanding of local ecosystems developed through centuries of living closely with nature. For the First Nations peoples connected to the Grand Canyon, such knowledge includes practices for managing biodiversity, water resources, and land in ways that maintain ecological balance. Today, these practices are increasingly recognized as valuable resources for contemporary conservation strategies, offering insights that are both time-tested and deeply sustainable. One key area where traditional wisdom is being integrated is in the management of plant species and habitats. Native tribes have long practiced selective harvesting, which ensures that plant populations remain healthy and viable. By collaborating with tribal elders, Park conservationists are learning to apply these principles to the management of native plant species, some of which are used in traditional medicines or ceremonies. Water management is another critical aspect where traditional insights are invaluable. Historical practices of water conservation and management among the First Nations offer models for sustainable water use in the park. These practices are particularly relevant as the region faces the challenges of climate change, which threatens water supplies not just in the canyon, but throughout the Colorado River basin. Fire management also benefits from traditional knowledge. Indigenous practices such as controlled burns were historically used to clear underbrush and maintain healthy forests and grasslands. Reintroducing these methods can help reduce the risk of catastrophic wildfires, restore natural fire regimes, and enhance the health of the ecosystem. The involvement of First Nations peoples in wildlife management brings a holistic approach to maintaining biodiversity. The respect for animal species as fellow beings with spiritual significance aligns with modern conservation ethics, which emphasize coexistence and ecosystem health. Programs that monitor species like the California condor, bighorn sheep, and various reptile and amphibian species benefit from this holistic perspective, ensuring that conservation efforts respect both cultural values and scientific guidelines. Educational programs within the Grand Canyon now incorporate First Nations perspectives, providing visitors with a richer understanding of the canyon's natural history and cultural significance. These programs emphasize the connection between the land and its people, highlighting how traditional practices have preserved this landscape through centuries. As the sun climbs higher, illuminating the vast contours of the canyon, these efforts to bridge traditional ecological knowledge with modern conservation practices represent a promising path forward. They not only honor the heritage of the First Nations, but also ensure that the Grand Canyon remains a vibrant and healthy ecosystem. Tonight, as you reflect on the day's end and the shadows lengthen across the Grand Canyon, let the marriage of ancient wisdom and contemporary science inspire a sense of continuity and hope. Dream of a world where respect for traditional knowledge and modern ecological needs guide our stewardship of natural wonders. Imagine walking the paths of the canyon, guided by the wisdom of those who walked them before as stewards of a timeless legacy. As dusk settles over the Grand Canyon, the fading light casts a serene glow across the vast landscape, inviting a moment of reflection on the legacy of this natural wonder. As we contemplate the future of the Grand Canyon, we can envision how the interplay of natural beauty, cultural richness, and dedicated conservation will continue to inspire and teach future generations. The Grand Canyon challenges us to think about our role as stewards of such irreplaceable treasures and the legacy we wish to leave for those who will come after us. Looking forward, the continued collaboration between conservationists, First Nations, scientists, and the public is essential to address the evolving challenges faced by the Grand Canyon. Climate change, increasing visitor numbers, and the pressures on natural resources demand innovative solutions that balance access with preservation, ensuring that the canyon remains a source of wonder and learning. The role of education in fostering a deep connection with the Grand Canyon cannot be overstated. By expanding educational programs that focus on ecological awareness, cultural history, and conservation, we can nurture a new generation of stewards who are knowledgeable and passionate about protecting natural environments. These programs will emphasize the interconnectedness of all life, and the importance of every individual's actions in shaping the future. The preservation of the Grand Canyon also involves embracing and integrating the traditional wisdom of the First Nations, whose heritage is deeply intertwined with the canyon. By honoring and incorporating their knowledge and perspectives into management practices, we not only preserve the cultural landscape, but also enhance our approaches to conservation based on centuries of sustainable stewardship. As technology advances, it offers new tools for monitoring environmental health, managing resources, and enhancing visitor experiences in less intrusive ways. Harnessing these technologies in ways that respect the natural and cultural integrity of the Grand Canyon will be crucial in adapting to future conservation challenges. The Grand Canyon's status as a UNESCO World Heritage Site underscores its global significance as a natural resource and a source of inspiration. This recognition brings with it a responsibility to lead in demonstrating how diverse communities can work together to manage and protect our planet's natural wonders. As night falls and the stars begin to sparkle above the Grand Canyon, their light is a beacon of hope and continuity. The canyon, under this starlit canopy, stands as a sanctuary, not only of natural beauty and scientific interest, but also as a spiritual home that has captured human imagination for millennia. Tonight, as you drift into sleep, let the grandeur and tranquility of the Grand Canyon fill your dreams. Envision the layers of rock, each one a page in the Earth's great narrative, and the river that winds its way through the canyon, persistent and enduring. Dream of walking the trails, each step a connection to both the past and the future, in a place where the spirit of the earth is palpable. Let the legacy of the Grand Canyon remind us of our shared duty to protect and cherish the natural world. Dream of a future where this majestic landscape continues to awe and inspire, safeguarded for countless generations to come, a timeless emblem of our natural heritage and our collective care.